we have a unplanned Right Turn Garage TV episode again. As I mentioned before in the previous one, the old Phoenix, the old Sunfire, she done went down. And, you know, started the car up, seemed to be running fine, but man, I smelled like some sort of, you know, not really Brute or Old Spice cologne, but fuel. Well, and she rotted. And I bent the line for it beautifully. It is a dead ringer match. There's only one flaw. Not that big a deal, but it's a huge deal. See that there? That's a rubber seal on the end. That's a special flare. This is not. This is a, wait a minute, that ain't gonna work, kind of, and yeah. So this was going to be a double flare, and I was actually thinking about trying to make that work. FYI guys, if it takes it, just do yourself a favor, bite the bullet, and buy the right darn thing. I mean, so they make this fuel line repair kit because they know it's absolutely going to fail eventually. You know, at least on some GM vehicle. Or Ford or Chrysler, whatever you got. You know, eventually she's going to rot out. So I'm going to show you a little trick an Indian taught me on how to bend these lines. Yeah, I think he taught me. So, anyway, first I'm going to put this tubing bender. This is what she really looks like. And yeah, that's a mess, I know. I've got like just a little too many projects going at once, but you know what? It's going to be okay. Yep. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bend it. We're just going to bend this here line. Now, if you don't know which slot it fits in, you can do like I do and just guess it. I'm guessing she goes in this biggest one right here, right? Now, math tells me that this sucker, let's see, where does this need to go? Okay, so, this was so much easier whenever I didn't have people watching me. But you know, it's okay. That's what this is all about. It's all about learning, right? And you'll want to start with this end, you know, because you're going to have to cut over here, hopefully. So, you know, we're just going to say, we're going to say like right here's an imaginary line. Okay, because let's just say, for argument's sake, like this, and we're gonna bend her down. Hopefully that's the right thing to do on this particular thing here. Let's just focus. All right, I'm putting you guys back down here. You're just gonna have to bear with me, guys. All right, so the good thing is this end right here, I mean, we should be gooder to just kind of slide him out just a scotch and say, you know what? We're going to bend him. Are you ready? We're going to bend him. And we're going to... Steel line is so much harder than non-steel line. Why? Why is it so hard? And then we're going to compare the bend. So, as you can see, we're about on the right track. Now, what we need to do, God bless you. So we need to take this piece of line back out, I believe, and go like this, maybe-ish. Yep, that's how. See that? Now, don't beat yourself up if you ain't got it perfect. You're probably not going to get it perfect. All right? Just get it real close, and then you can just bend the bejesus out of it whenever you get under the car. So, nonetheless, I think that's good. We're going to just see how much gooder it is. Let's see. If we bend this sucker, is that going to be gooder? We want this further out. Yep, we want that further out. Before we start that bend, we're going to do, yep, right in there-ish. Okay, hopefully you guys saw that because it could have been impressive. I'm not really sure. Let's see, do we want to, God bless. Make sure your vise is tight. Mine isn't. Ah. Do you still work? Yep, you still work. All right, so, yep, you're still on. Cool. So we're gonna try to guess that we need to bend. Like, I think for some reason I need to bend it this way. Is that right? No? Yes? Gosh dang, I can't remember now. Let's see. Because if I bend her, no, we want to go the opposite way. We want to go like that. So we're going to start bending. Is that right? Oh, okay. We did it. So, see, we're still on track. Still on track. Looky there, boys. Huh? I told you have faith in the old Gipper. Now, all of this stuff is guesstimation, just so y'all know. I really don't bend that many lines. I don't think anybody purposely does. So now, we got to bend him back down in the tail end there. So, make it easier. Switch him around. And roughly, let's see. This is how I've been doing it. Roughly wherever this thing is I think where I want my bend to start. So we're just going to roll with that because it's been working. And then we're just going to go. And by gosh, I ain't trying to brag, boys, but you know, for something that has that many bends in him, that's pretty darn close, don't you think? I'm happy with that. And the real gooder part is, it should fit exactly where I need it to without really any fudgeting. I really just, pretty impressed. Look at that. Do not try to bend this by hand, guys. I promise you, if you're trying to bend this by hand, one, this is steel. This ain't that copper line. And if you're trying to bend the copper at this sharp, you're going to kink it. You're going to kink it. Step number 12, which should have been step 1, is identify where your leak is. And the reason why I have this much line that I cut, and I know you're thinking, that's a straightaway. Why didn't you cut there? Accessibility. You want a place that you can reach on that car. So that's what I done did. I made it as easily accessible to myself as I could. So that's why it's all like that. And this one has some sort of copper type, or is that gold? Should I scrape that out of there and scrap it right now? It might be copper. That's a lot of money. I'm just joking. We're gonna leave it be because I'd much rather have some, you know, running sunfire bird type car than, you know, 18 cents worth of copper or whatever it is. Probably not even the good stuff. So now we're just gonna thread that puppy in, and they give you a brass fitting that I've already lost. So that's gooder. Dang it. So let me find that and I'll show you how we cinch it all together and tighten it and all that good jazz, okay? Give me about 40-50 minutes to find it. Yep, it shouldn't take long. It's somewhere, you know. in that vicinity. All right, kids, you remember me telling you about the union coupler? This is half of it. They give you this little brass sleeve. Don't drop or ding that. You're gonna hate life if you do. And there's a nut. Now, this is a 3/8 coupler, so it takes a 16 M&Ms and a 14 M&Ms wrenches. And what you do is this. Hopefully, all right, so you see where we put our coupler. Hold on, come here, light. Let's go with this. See that? Now, what you have to do is hold this centerpiece still while you tighten this piece. What it does is crushes that brass sleeve that you have there. And see what I mean by accessibility? Like I didn't really hook myself up that much, but just a little to say, hey, we're still friends. And I might have to cut this line just a scotch more, it looks like. But anyway, you put this nut on first. Then you slide over this little crush sleeve, like so. You just throw it on after you throw the nut part on. And then you hold this center and you tighten that right there. Bada boom, bada bang, da bang. She's sealed up. So, rather than fight with this dirty burger, I think I'm gonna cut this line maybe just one more good time, you know, so it lines up just about right. I forgot this right here actually gives you, you know, like an 3/4 of an inch more room. So if you do run a little short, you're probably going to be perfectly fine. I've cut probably an inch off of this already. And it looks like I need maybe another 1/2 inch off of it. So rather than bore you with all that good stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and skidoo it and throw that thing on there just like that. Then we'll start her up and hopefully no kapooey, you know, because there was a bunch of gas on the floor by the time I noticed this thing was leaking, which is really gooder, especially since it's all over my stinking logo all over the floor. You know, that I laid out by hand and measured. I don't want to say perfectly, but perfectly, you know. Dang it. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to start him up and hope for the best. What do you think? Sounds like a wiener, huh? So let's give it a whirl, kids. Give me 3 minutes. 3 minutes ought to do. All right. Hold on a sec. All right, so it took way longer than what it should have. So right there's what we got. And if you see a silver end on there, funny story. Well, funny, not so funny. Is this camera at an angle? It's just me. Is it good? All right, so I over tightened it apparently and cracked that original brass fitting, but I had one left over for the toilet up in the bathroom. Now I just flicked the key on. I didn't see nothing. There's that. Now we're crawling underneath. Well, it may be time to do an upgrade on the old camera because, well, as you see, I'm wearing a different shirt. It's still the same day. I just had stuff to go do real quick. So, you know, don't want to look like I don't own any nice clothes, I don't guess. So, anyway, the old Sunfire, you always want to check for leaks. That's what I was, so I had it running, I think. And the only thing that was leaking was the moisture out of the muffler. And that right there is natural, so we ain't even worried about it. I hope that noisy alternator just like stops with the noise. Let's see. I hope this thing works too. Sunroof, that'd be pretty cool, right? Anyway, like I was saying, you always want to check your leaks, especially since this particular leak was like, you know, where the exhaust is. And I read somewhere that that's like not good to have those two things together. You know, the next time we may be putting a go fast muffler on this. I'm not really sure. But I think it needs one. We got to have something make more noise than the alternator or whatever the heck's making all that noise up there. So, you know, hopefully this helps you guys. Just remember, this is the same exact kind of thing you would do for brake fittings, brake line, you know, pretty much any metal hose that you got, you know. If you got a lot of bends in her, tight bends, use a tubing bender. If it's got something you can get by hand, get it by hand. I do. I ain't even gonna lie. The copper line is easier to work with. It's also easier to kink. So you might want to use a tubing bender. Let's see. But as long as you cut where you have a straight shot to do all that, you ought to be fine. And if you're not sure on how tight to tighten it, take it from me, you don't want to go super good or tight, because then you end up finding another piece of a fitting that I think actually belonged to the toilet or something. Like, I don't know. Like for something special on the toilet. I don't know. I don't even know where. Maybe it went to the shower. Either way, I'm not using it where it's at, so hopefully I don't need it. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there too. So, anyway, this was an easy peasy, non-Japanese, because it's, you know, she's American kind of car, kind of fix. So, hopefully this, guys, it helped you. Showed you a little bit on a tubing bender. Not gonna lie, I actually learned how to bend just now, because I've had that thing for yep, quite some years, and I never really use it at all. Most of the brakes seem to be, you know, decent spots, you know. I don't know, it's just luck like that. But we got some plans for this old girl, and it's going to be pretty interesting. And the cool thing of it is, this is an easily affordable car, and the things that I'm going to do are relatively cheap-ish to do. We might have to keep a tally on it that way, so you know what you might spend in a Sunfire, huh? Now that one's, yeah, I was going to start on a budget on that one, and I'm still trying to do a budget-ish build, but the seats set me back a lot further. Not like in the seat or anything, but you know, like, I thought it was only going to be $350, not $700. But you know, who's counting? Anyway. But guys, you know, we're going to have a lot of little fun projects, and this one right here is going to be actually a pretty neat project, I think. And I still can't tell you exactly what I'm doing, but you're just going to have to watch and see. And it's worth the watch, trust me. Whenever I say it's going to get better, this one right here is one of them where it got better. The 69 is where it's going to get way more gooder. And the IROC is pretty darn gooder too. So, but this is for an affordable project. And I'm going to show you, you can do pretty much whatever you're really wanting to do. If you've got the dream to make something, you can make it happen. And you can make it happen with just a little bit of money. So imagine if this thing had good paint on it. That's all I got to say. Because I'm going to repaint it. Just imagine if it had good paint though. Just saying. This same color. This blackish color. But I'm going to keep your wheels spinning. If you guys want to guess what I'm doing with it, by all means, shoot them down there in the comments. We do have these Go Fast wheels over here. I'm not sure. I hope they're good wheels. I mean, I have to get tires anyway, so we're going to paint these all up, and, you know, we're going to make them gooder. Way more gooder. And I think I need a center cap, and Yes, I'm going to get center caps because you have to. I mean, if you got these, you can't have all matching wheels and tires and not center caps. That ain't gooder. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. It's been a long day. We fixed, you know, dose leaks today. This is the second video of the day. The first one was, of course, the big red machine. But it's 2 different episodes. Why not? We're going to make it work. And if you don't mind, guys, it's just one of them little... the button down there. Subscribing button, the like button, comment button, whatever it is. All of them. Heck, hit them all. And, you know, tell your friends that, you know, you got somebody that's doing crazy builds, and or maybe, you know, this can help somebody that don't know how to do stuff. That's all what this is all about, just helping people. So, again, guys, thanks for watching. And it is absolutely getting better. And we'll see you next time here on Right Turn Garage TV.